Hey guys, Banana here. Welcome back to another Watch Our Realms video. We're back on the test server today and we are taking a look at a few of the new heroes that have dropped this weekend. And yeah, we have a bunch of units. Two of them are Infernal units, which is what we're going to focus on in this video. The other one is a Pearson Northerner, which we've already covered in another video, but yeah, let's get into it. So we have two new Infernal units. We have this Flag Lady, which was teased during the dev interviews. That's Gretchen. But what I want to focus on this video here today is Violetta Vane. I have no idea how to pronounce her name properly, and I think that's gonna come out in quite a fair bit of testings where I wouldn't be able to pronounce it correctly. But yeah, this is an Infernal mage, and I think design wise, she looks very interesting. I'm not sure if it's a spider or whatnot. She looks like she belongs with Araka, but yeah, unit is Infernal Mage instead. And we'll take a look at base stats here. So she has 4.6k base attack, not too high. Deployment cost of 19, that's okay as well. And the attack interval is going to be 2.6 seconds, and she's from the Infernal faction. Now, when dealing damage, she has a 50% chance to inflict burning, and then Infernal Blaze as well. What does this do? Bearer suffers 30% magic resistance reduction before the duration ends. If the bearer has 4 burning effects, it converts into soul burn lasting for 10 seconds. So what this means is that if there's 4 stacks of burns, it will mutate into this extra thing called soul burn. And yeah, this is inflicted every 5 seconds. So I think it's going to be pretty much 100% uptime. Now, when conditions are met, this is what we have mentioned here. It turns into soul burn. So when triggered, inflicts burning effect equals to the amount that's currently on the bearer. So I think what this means is that if you have 4 burning stacks, it becomes 8. And the inflicted amount is kept at 10. So you could do more stacks of burning, but no matter what, it will only do 10 more extra stacks. Once again, we have the same magic resistance reduction, and all burning effects are continuously refreshed for the duration, and the effect cannot be repeatedly inflicted within 10 seconds. So that means that soul burn cannot be restacked again. You will have to, build up the 4 burning stacks again before it comes back. So there's a bit of downtime that they forced into that. I think that's to ensure that the burn stacks don't just, multiply exponentially. Ultimate attack is guaranteed to inflict Infernal Blaze and Burning. So over here is 50%. With the ultimate, it's going to go up to 100% instead. Alright, and then passive here, magic damage. Deals 120% magic damage to one enemy in range. That sounds pretty reasonable. And then first passive, when inflicting soul burn, deals 50% magic damage to the bearer and spreads all burning effects up to 1 enemy targets within 1 tile of the carrier. Now, this is going to go up to 2 targets and the magic damage goes up to 125%. And subsequently, refreshers of soul burn only deal an equal amount of magic damage. That sounds a bit weird. Subsequent refreshers of soul burn only deal... Does it just means that it only deals the damage and not spreads the burning effect? I don't know, no idea. We'll have to test it out, but yeah, that's very interesting wording. Now, second passive, Sadistic Delight. When an allied hero inflicts burning on the enemies with Infernal Blaze or Soul Burn, for every burning effect on the enemy, that allied hero gains 3% damage increase for 7 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So that's going to be 15% damage increase, and every single unit gets to benefit from that. Now, whether this damage increase is similar to the buffs that we have on the likes of Dralian A1 or Earliest A3, that's going to matter quite a bit because it will affect how good this buff is, given that we already have quite a ton of damage increase kits in a lot of the heroes. Now, let's move on to our ultimate. Execution Ceremony deals 150%, sorry, it's actually 225% damage 5 times to one enemy with the highest HP in range, inflicts slow for 5 seconds. If the enemy is already inflicted with soul burn, refreshes its duration, and does not inflict additional stacks of Infernal Blaze. Meanwhile, the hero restores HP equal to 30% of her max HP, and when deployed in a lot team of the same faction, faction team members also restore equal to 30% of their max HP. That's a very interesting ultimate. Lasts for 3.5 seconds. It's a manual ultimate. I honestly don't know what to feel about that because refreshes duration does not inflict additional stacks of Infernal Blaze. I mean, Infernal Blaze doesn't stack anyways, right? So I don't know. The wording is looking a bit weird, a bit funky. There's some slow there, there's some HP restoration, so I'm not really sure what to feel about that. It's not like you're gonna run her without a healer in the team anymore, so it's a bit weird why there's a HP increase here. It could be for the new AMR, because we've seen from my video where, you know, there are certain maps where it's a bit hard to get heals off. And healers everywhere, so that 30% might be just specifically for that. And bear in mind that all faction team members will get the HP restoration based on the wording here, no matter whether they're in range or not. They just need to be deployed in the same faction. So yeah, but it looks like a very underwhelming ultimate. Maybe this soul burn and Infernal Blaze thing makes sense. I mean, refreshing soul burns. Wait, let me check. Okay, I get it now. Soul Burn is the evolved version, so refreshing its stack is actually very good and does not inflict additional stacks of Infernal Blaze. So that makes a lot of sense now. Okay, my bad. That's why it's good, because it extends the Soul Burn duration. So if let's say you time it well, Soul Burn will extend from 10 seconds to 20 seconds instead. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. Glad I reread that to try to get better understanding. Now, A1 increases the duration of Soul Burn by 6 seconds, so that's pretty big. And now only 3 burnings effects are required to convert Infernal Blaze to Soul Burn. That's a huge one, because Soul Burn for 16 seconds, that's just going to be 6 extra seconds of refresh burns. And 3 burning effects means that you don't need that many heroes to actually inflict that. Because previously you would need 4 heroes unless you use something like Anai, but Anai only inflicts multiple stacks in her ultimate. Then now maybe you can run this, Solcadens, and like a Lord Finish, and that'll be sufficient. A2 is flat attack. A3, ultimate deals damage 1 extra time, and its damage increases 5% for every burning effect on the target, up to a maximum increase of 25%, so it's just a straight up 25% damage increase basically. And dealing 1 damage 1 extra time just means more potential stacks to get burning up. A4 is penetration, and then A5, when inflicting soul burn on an enemy, also inflicts Infernal Blaze on one other enemy with the highest HP. Needs to be within 2 tiles. And if there are no enemies in range, restores 20% rage to the hero. If we're looking at boss content, then A5 of her is gonna have a pretty good ultimate uptime, because you just get that 20% rage, because you always are in guild boss content anyways. So very interesting unit, to be honest. A lot of nuances here to take note of with the conditions for Infernal Blaze and Soul Burn. I do hope that when we actually test it out, we can see this debuffs very clearly. On the case of like Guild Boss, you'll probably see the status indicators, but I think in content like AMR, that's going to be a bit hard to figure out. And you can see in her kit, it sort of makes it such that she wants to do damage to 2 enemies, preferably, especially with the A5 and this, but I'm not too sure how effective that will be. So we'll have to test her out, but that's Violetta Vane. Yeah, I think that's the way to pronounce her name. And yeah, let's move on to the actual testings, and we'll see how she fares there. Alright, so now with her skills and awakenings out of the way, we're gonna take a look at her Soben mechanics specifically, because I think that one is a bit of an interesting one for Violetta Vane. We're gonna investigate what it means to actually trigger the Soben. How many burns can it stack up? Because it says here that, you know, when it's triggered, it inflicts burning effects equals to the amount currently on the barrel, and the inflicted amount is capped at 10 stacks. So the magic resistance reduction is still the same, continuously refreshed, that we can see very clearly. And then this effect cannot be repeatedly inflicted within 10 seconds, which means that you cannot do soul burn repeatedly. So we're gonna see it in action now. We're gonna have 4 burning units in because that's what it takes to trigger it. And then afterwards, we're gonna take a look at her A1 to see whether or not it's a big enough impact. So I think every single unit that I have in the lineup here can trigger burns, except for Gretchen, who only triggers it upon her ultimate. So we're gonna pop this in. And you're gonna see only 3 burn stacks no matter what. But we are able to pop her ultimate. And I think the ultimate will actually trigger more burn stacks than usual. Just check. Yeah, let's try it in a fair bit. Okay, so obviously Soben is not triggering here, so let's pop the ultimate there. The resistance reduction is also not in, because she's not doing the Infernal Blaze, so we're gonna pop that. And then there you go, you can see the burns coming out here. But I don't know why we have so many stacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks like it could be repeating itself non-stop. And then you're gonna see the stacks refresh for a fair bit. And then yeah, afterwards it's gonna start to expire. And go back to the original burns, and then you can see right here, we are not gonna trigger that soul burn anymore unless we get 1 more burning stack, and then 1 more burning stack is gonna come from Gretchen. So we're gonna pop the ultimate there and see. Yep, there you go. So that is 8 stacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not like when she pops her ultimate where she'll inflict more. And in theory, you could passively trigger the burn stacks with like Gretchen pass off the ultimate. And then after that, if you pop her ultimate again, she's gonna do the soul burn stacks again. And then you're gonna see it slowly wind down in a fair second here. And then once that is done, we're gonna try to pop Gretchen's thing again. And then yeah, you're gonna see it repeatedly triggered. So that's what I mean. I think you could cycle it to get as much burn stacks as possible. It could come in very handy for Boros Codex. I have no idea if who was that? The poison team will still be more meta, but definitely this is creating a lot of burn stacks that will help a lot in that codex specifically. And yeah, that's how it works. And now let's change things up a bit. We're gonna bring in Violetta Vane at A1, and we're gonna see if the stacks actually come in just passively every 10 seconds instead. So we're gonna bring her A1 version in here. There you go. So let's take a look at A1 again. Increases the duration of soul burn by 6 seconds, and only 3 burning effects are required to convert Infernal Blaze into soul burn. Now, it says that soul burn cannot be triggered every 10 seconds. Sorry, it cannot be repeatedly inflicted. So it means that with the soul burn extending beyond 6 seconds, you could potentially just stack this forever. So let's pop in. And then we'll see how it works out. So now it's A1, 1 less stack, and then all 3 units that we have here actually can inflict stacks. So I'm not going to put in Gretchen anymore. We're going to just do these 3 units. And there you go. You can see it doubling straight away. I think only during her ultimate does she inflict more burning stacks than usual. So you could essentially keep up this permanently. And there's always going to be that magic resistance ignore of 30% when the Solven is active. I think now we're just waiting for Finis to proc his burns, and then it's gonna kick in. Yeah. And let's say when this expires, if we actually pop Violetta Vane's ultimate, then it comes in again. There you go. So yeah, 3 stacks is quite a big deal considering the fact that in most of the cases where you're facing boss content, you're not going to have 4 Infernal units. You're most probably only going to have 3, especially if we talk about Abyss. And then let's say we proc Finis ultimate again. It's just going to make the burning stacks more probable to land because he gets double chance of inflicting burn. Now we proc Violetta Vane's ultimate. We're going to get that again. I can see that the Soulburn doesn't stick on because it can't be inflicted for more than, can't be inflicted until the 10-second cooldown is over. And yeah, it's gonna take quite a lot of tweaking to get her to work well, but I can start to see the potential here already, given the fact that Solcadens actually enjoys the he actually enjoys the extra burning stacks a lot. That makes him do more damage. And also the fact that whenever Soulburn is active, there's that 30% magic resistance ignore. So very interesting unit. It is definitely gonna take a lot of learning to get used to her. But once you get all that sorted out, it is gonna be quite a powerful unit. I do wish that they could have like a cooldown on Soulburn or something showing up on the enemy. Right now, there's no visual indicator. Versus on Gretchen, we can see the flag energy stacks very obviously. But on her, you can't really see, that going on. And one thing that I just realized clicking through her kit is that if let's say you have Soulburn active, you could actually refresh it as well with the ultimate. So there you go. Enemy is already inflicted, refreshes the duration, and does not inflict additional stacks of Infernal Blaze. So yeah, I think that's gonna help out quite a fair bit. So instead of having the Soulburn just expire, you can extend it after, it's gonna, after like 9 seconds, so that it refreshes for another 20. I'm guessing that's how it works at least. So yeah, that's Violetta Vane. We're gonna be testing her in Abyss with Gretchen definitely. And then we're also gonna take a look at Infernal Trials, just not in this video. But if you have any questions, leave it down in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And as always, if you enjoyed the content, feel free to leave a like or subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.